Tell me a little about what the different ways that somebody like this can engage with the product and introduce it to their audience.
So let's just for the audience sake, clarify that there's hundreds of thousands of these types of influencers. So it's not just moms, there's dads, there's LGBT communities, there's artists, there's cyclists, there's fishermen. Like, you know, it's very broad. From the standard approach to activating someone like this is to figure out their value yourself, right? So taking a look at, you know, how many people is this going to affect, right? So that could be an average viewership on their content. So we get an idea of how many people are watching. Mm-hmm. What's the sentiment around the comments that we're seeing on their content? Are they engaging? Or are they just looking? I think that's a major one, and a big takeaway for your audience would be distinguishing between, you know, who's a influencer and who's a looker, right? And sometimes people follow someone not because they care about what they say, but maybe they're aesthetically pleasing, or maybe they, you know, make me laugh from time to time. But if he tells me to invest in something, you know, what does he know? He's a goof on Instagram, right? So finding that genuine connection is really important. But once you've found that, what we now want to do is approach that influencer with an idea of what we're looking to achieve, right? And in most cases, depending on the scale of the development or what you're trying to raise, or et cetera, let's say for the bigger ones, you're going to want to approach influencers who have pretty substantial audiences, and then figure out what it's worth in terms of your payment to them. They're not going to work on an affiliate model where you're paying them based on the money they raise, et cetera.
Yeah.
That world has come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then from a smaller influencer perspective, it's about forming the relationships with them and seeing what they want in order to partake in such an activation. So go in with the understanding with the bigger ones that, you know, I need to pay to play. They have an audience, they've earned it. You know, I can't disrespect that. And I got to figure out what is it worth to me. And I got to take a gamble, just like any type of marketing is. And then with the smaller influencers, sometimes it's good to get acquainted with them, build a relationship, to let them tell you what they want, right? So you'll get crazies who say they want crazy amounts of money to do things, et cetera. But you might get people who are willing to say, hey, I want to try it. If it works really well, then, you know, maybe we can work out a deal, or et cetera. So just approaching the different tiers of influencer in the understanding that, you know, you need to invest in them and you need to make that commitment of that financial commitment to make it fly.